In this video, we're going to show you two very important settings on your account that control the way that your event portal and your event planning tools work and appear for your clients and your prospective clients. The two settings are called Force Login and Allow Create Login. And we're going to walk you through what each of these means, and then we're also going to walk you through the four different options that you have with these settings by toggling them on or off. And you'll see here, what we're going to show you is option one is what the most popular setting is, option two being the second most popular, but there's two other options available to you as well, depending on how you want it to be set up. So before we get started and show you this, let's explain what each of these is. Force Login is whether or not you want to force your clients to log in first before they can view your planning forms, your timelines, and your music playlist tool. We'll show you a demo of this, but what it means is that if a client were to go directly to a planning form or a timeline or your playlist and you have Force Login set to yes, they will not see the form. Instead, they'll be taken directly to the login page with a message at the top that tells them they need to log in order to access that feature. The other setting is called Allow Create Login. And what this does is this is whether or not you want to allow your clients to create their own event portal login. So if you're prompting them to log in to access a particular feature like a planning form or a timeline, then you have to give them the option. Do you want them to be able to create that account on their own, right on your website, and have immediate access to that resource? Or do you want them to have to contact you and you set up their event portal login manually? So if you allow Create Login to yes, you'll see that people will be able to hit your site, create the login, and access the resources, and you'll have additional events in your system that maybe you haven't even booked yet at that point. Whereas the other model, if you set that to no, would mean that they won't be able to access the resource, and instead they'll have to contact you first, where you can have a discussion and you can set up their event and their event portal login for them. So let's go ahead and take a look at how these work. So what you're going to want to do is go into your Event Management Console, go to the Admin tab, and then go to Master Settings. And you're going to scroll down here to the third section. And at the bottom of the third section, you're going to see those two settings we just discussed, Force Login and Allow Create Login. And this little overview here is exactly as I explained. Force Login, again, they have to log in order to be able to view the planning form, timeline, or playlist. Allow Create Login is whether or not you want to allow the client to create their own login to access those features. So let's take a look at this in action. Let's go through scenario number one, where we have Force Login is set to no, but Allow Create Login is set to yes. This, again, is our most popular way that people access their event planning tools. So in this scenario, if we go to our planning form, we'll go to our wedding planning form, you'll see they are allowed to view the form. If Force Login was on, you'll see they won't be able to view the form. So they're allowed to view the form, but of course now they have to log in. That's a requirement. But when they get to this page, you'll see we have a link here to create account. That's because Allow Create Login is set to yes. So from here, the client can set up their own online account to be able to access and save that planning form immediately. So let's go back and let's look at scenario number two, which is our second most popular. This is where everything is essentially locked down. Force Login is set to yes, and Allow Create Login is set to no. This is sort of a full lockdown mode of the tools where you're not going to let anybody view or access anything unless they contact you first. So now if we go back to our wedding planning form, you'll see it won't even let me go to it. I'm going to put the URL one more time just to show you. As soon as I click on that, it takes me back to this page. Your session is timed out. Please log in again. Here we are, but now this time, because we've set Allow Create Login to no, you'll notice that there's no link down here to create an account. So this client or potential client has no way to access your forms or your event planning portal without reaching out and contacting you. And again, this is the second most popular because this is a lot of companies set it up this way because they don't want their competitors to be able to see their planning forms or their timelines or even their music playlist or what songs they have in their library. They just want to keep it all private, and they want all the client communications flowing through them where they have total control over everything. So now let's quickly take a look at option 3. Option 3 is when we set force login to no, so meaning they can see the forms, they don't have to log in, but we're going to set allow create login, we're going to leave that at no. So both of them are going to be set to no. Let's save this, let's go back to here and let's go to our wedding planning form. And now you'll see, here we are, we can view the form again. You're allowing your prospective client to view everything that you offer on your planning form, which by the way is a great selling tool. But now when they go to log in, you'll see the create account link is not present. So in this scenario, you're allowing them to see your forms, but you're not allowing them to access them to be able to save or make changes unless they contact you first to create and set up their event and their event portal login. So this, again, lets them preview it, possibly use it as a selling tool, but they're not actually going to be able to use it until they contact you and you book their event. So now let's take a look at the final way, the option number 4, where we have force login set to yes, but we have allow create login set to yes as well. So they're both yes. We'll go ahead and save. Now we're going to go back to our wedding planning form. Notice the URL here. As soon as I hit go, again, we're back now to our login screen. Because force login is set to yes, we're not showing them the form. We're taking them right back to the login screen. However, in this model, option number 4, now the create account link is back and available for them to use. So what that means is you're keeping your planning forms and your timelines and your playlist private, but you will let them access it if they create an account. So you're almost in a way exchanging their information for access to be able to view your event planning tools. So in option number 4, they can't see or do anything until they create an account. But of course, once they create an account, now you have their information. So now they're able to check out your forms, your timelines, your playlist, but you have their information because they have created an account. So you have those 4 different options available to you. You can mix them and match them any way that you want and any way that fits your particular needs. But just to recap, the most popular option is force login is no and allow create client login is yes, meaning they can see everything and they can create an account to be able to save immediately. That's option number 1. That's the most popular. And the second most popular is sort of a full lockdown mode where force login is yes and allow create login is no, meaning they cannot see any of your planning forms without logging in, and you will not let them create their own account. They must contact you to set up their event portal account. And those are the 4 different options, the 4 ways you can set it up. Again, think about your own business and how you want to set that up, and then make those adjustments accordingly.